So, I got caught up talking to some ladies, and now I'm done with that. I recorded part of the conversation. I was like, oh shit. You know, I thought I would be just moving on, but they wanted to talk, so. Excuse me. But, anyway, what was I on about before? I think it was video games, right? Yeah. So, the next mission I'm gonna do in Skyrim is the one where you get the Elder Scroll, because you need it for the main quest, right? It's just the big Dwarven dungeon, right? The first one you really go to, where it connects to like all the other ones with the underground city. Which is cool. It's like one of the coolest parts in the game. Most of the Dwarven dungeons are really cool, but some of them can be really frustrating because of the Falmer and stuff. Like, the difficulty spikes real suddenly in Dwarven dungeons. Like, I'm getting to the point where even in my full Daedric, upgraded, enchanted fucking armor, I kind of can't take many hits from Falmer dudes with hardened swords and shit. Or like, a couple other guys could kill me pretty quick. You know, if I get shot with a bow with decent arrows, like, I'm fucked. Even in Daedric armor. So I gotta put more points in health. And I gotta spend my perk things on fucking armor shit. The Falmer are a pain in the ass though, because they got real bad bows, but they always carry Daedric arrows some reason. So, like a shot from those is gonna knock you across the room. And obviously, there's gonna be a crap ton of loot that I'll have to carry, so I had to go get my companion, because I married that fucking chick I was talking about in the game before. And I couldn't find her after the wedding, because there's like this weird glitch where she just stays in the chapel thing until you walk up to, she disappears for a while and then reappears in the chapel, and she'd just stay there forever if you didn't go back there and talk to her again. So, it's gonna be, I think I might go over the bridge today. I don't know, I don't ever really think this is worth it. It sucks dick. I hate this part of town. I gotta take a whiz. But playing Skyrim makes me miss Oblivion. If you play Oblivion well, it's like the best game ever. Like I said, there's problems with Oblivion though, right? Like the level up system. Or you could have like a broken character if you know what you're doing really easily. But if you don't really just stress every little detail, you're gonna get like killed by shit that shouldn't kill you. And the higher up your level goes, the higher up all the enemies go too, no matter where you go, right? So you wind up in situations where there's enemies that are just way too strong for you, even though you're at the same level. Because eventually they start to level up better than you do, and it just keeps getting stronger, and eventually you're just in like 30-minute swinging matches with Daedroth and shit. I remember being a noob at that, though. Fuck. I would try to use magic for everything, and it was like 10. And it would take like 20 minutes to kill a Daedroth. It was really bad. Because I couldn't figure out how to get Magicka up really high. I didn't know how to work the enchanting thing. I was just wearing robes, just like the first time I played Skyrim, basically. And everything killed me really fast, and I could hardly do any damage to anything. Still, I got to like level 55. I did almost every quest in the game as like a retard character. I feel sorry for my parents though, because the TV was in the living room, right? They didn't give me like the whole TV in the room, gaming computer, shit like some of the other people I know have, right? Or had. So all day long they'd be hearing me shooting this same stupid fireball shell spell attitude, and then getting swatted at. I'm running around trying to let my Magicka recharge, because they don't give you enough of that at all in Oblivion. Like magic is almost useless in the Elder Scrolls in general, just because you don't ever have enough Magicka to kill something with magic. And if you do know how to get good magic spells and shit, like, good for you. But like, really, you gotta like mod the game to balance magic well. And like, even the loot you get and stuff. Like I said, eventually everything's just too much stronger than you for you to really want to continue. But if you do try, you could probably beat almost every quest before you're like level 60 something. And then there's just nothing to do with all the wonderful artifacts you've collected and stuff. So, yeah, that's the problem with RPGs. Almost, like, the biggest problem with them in general is the fact that you're only doing everything as a fucking tactic to do the next thing, right? It's like... in the end, you realize, like, oh, well, I only got this so I could do another mission without running out of potions or something. I only did that so I could get strong enough to beat that. You know, it's like, there's no ends to all the means in the end, because the means were for, just wind up being the ends to something else, or the means to some other ends. But they're still like the best games, basically. RPGs are such a good way to make a game that, like, every different genre of game now has RPG elements in it now. Like, almost everything. Because they found out it just automatically made people like the game more, basically. Like, even Call of Duty. I remember when I was playing Call of Duty, and I was like, it's like the video game apocalypse is upon us. That's what I thought, you know? It's like everything's just gonna slowly turn into more and more of an RPG. And then they were like, Fallout came out, and I was like, honestly, I was all over that, but I was like, this is a sign the video game industry just self-destructing, right? And you know, I haven't even gotten to play any games from like the last 2 generations, basically. Like, I had an Xbox 360, but no one bought me anything for it, so I just played Oblivion and Halo, and that's about it. I had a Wii, but I didn't get most of the good games until I had it for like 8 years. The Wii wasn't that good anyway, because they focus so much on their gimmicks that it takes away from the processing power. They're cheaper, but it's like, well, if I had money to buy the $60 games, I could pay an extra $100 to get an Xbox instead, right? So, It's a good thing Nintendo doesn't release their games on like Xboxes or something else. They just go out of business, right? But I love my Nintendo Switch. It's the shit, man. The Nintendo Switch is badass because I can download Oblivion on it and fucking just be in public if I wanted to, playing Oblivion, or like on the bus or something, or whatever. I don't even have the one that plugs into your TV. I don't even have a TV anyway, so. I used to have one, but I was trying to move, so I sold it because I couldn't take it with me. No one wants to help me with anything, so I was like, can I get a ride? They're like, oh yeah, we're just so busy, Shirley, this whole fucking month. Which, no, they're not. You got plenty of time out of the day. Quit sitting around drinking wine, right? That's why most of them didn't help me, because they're busy drinking wine. It takes like 2 hours to get here, you know. I wanted someone to just hold on to my stuff. They said I could do that if I got there, but they weren't willing to take me, right? It's like, it was almost like cruel, really. Like, there's always a catch to everything. Everything people offer me, anyway, there's always a catch. Like, yeah, you could put your stuff here while you wait on the street, see if you're going to jail or not. Like, but we're not gonna take you just because we like watching you fucking struggle in agony, right? What's up? That's my landlord. So he's obviously unhappy, walking around doing nothing. Ugh. The thing that sucks is when I do find a place to go, people only brought me there because it's going to be this fucked up situation that I'm supposed to leave all of a sudden when I don't even have money to take the bus somewhere. They're like, you didn't just hoof it and walk all the way to fucking San Bernardino or some shit? Like, you wouldn't, probably. You have a car, so you don't have to do this stuff, and you're treating me like I'm a shit because I can't just walk all the way to Los Angeles from here. See, if only I'd learned to drive before all this bullshit happened to me, then it would be good to go. I would just be flying high, right? I could go anywhere, do what I need to do. I don't even need an apartment. I could just sleep in my freaking car, right? But they didn't want that, right? They're like, he's so happy with simple things that we could just take something critical to the whole thing and he'd never be able to live, right? That's what they figured. Anyway, those two fucking Mexicans are like devil worshippers back there. They're lying and saying they ain't, but they are. That guy's going to hell. You don't have the right to live, man. Anyway, he's in his car, right? Smash his fucking window in his face if he takes the time to pull over, right? So y'all think I'm an idiot. It's not true, right? Like when I would go outside, right? What's the real reason you don't get out of your car and shoot at someone just to fill your balls for some fuck? Just to get you ready for tonight's evil jerk-off session or something, right? Anyway. And the real reason is just because as soon as you think about doing it, you're like, yeah, like fucking, there's just something, woo, at you, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do what I should do, or what I want to do, or what I would want to do if it weren't for the thing going, yeah. That's why people don't do shit. That's why I don't do shit most of the time. If I'm not doing it when I'm supposed to, it's just, fuck. I need some money. Or, I don't know, maybe I'll just go to sleep. Anyway, yeah, they got hidden cameras in my room and shit. They don't just tell it to my face or nothing. They just talk about it outside, right? They also worship demons and shit, so they're like fucking looking into my mind or some shit. That's the biggest reason they don't kill me is because they're looking into my mind. They forcibly, you know, they're forced to accept the reality of what's going on because I'm well aware of what's happening. Anyway, that car right there, if they're not dead in like 2 hours, I'm gonna be pissed off because how are they gonna live doing that, man? That red one that just passed. You should have seen what the fuck they did. Just straight wicked. Also, if you're wondering why there is even happening, it's because someone's trying to stop you from selling like you really could, right? That's what I figured out. Sadly, my whole neighborhood is like together with their because it's the fucking ghetto. Who do you think lives there, man? Do you think it's gonna be fucking Pope and shit? No, it's a guy who's fucking like drunk all the time. And he's only there because he's got prison records and shit, so he can't get a job. He's lucky that he smoked himself half insane, because then he wouldn't have income if he didn't, right? That's the biggest upside about being a drug addict retard, is that you're smoking yourself insane. There's not really any help in it. In the end, you were probably too young when it happened anyway to actually be smart enough to avoid the situation. You know? Like, I never imagined my brain would get so fucked up just off of weed. But it happened. So they say, anyway. Unless I am right, which I probably am. Actually, I literally am. I can tell already just because of that guy who stopped in the middle of the road and was staring at me and attacking me with his mind. He's lying. He's like, no, I wasn't. You can't prove it. I did prove it, and he lied about it. One good thing about a place where everyone wants to maul each other mentally is that they've all learned how to see that someone's doing that shit, right? So you don't get away with it like you think you do. They like to pretend they do, right? It's like astroturfing. They're trying to convince you that they will get away with it by pretending everyone is different and everyone works in some way that's not even like rational most of the time, right? Just because usually people are good. Even in the ghetto, not everyone's gonna cross every line they possibly could. But the manager at the hotel I'm staying at, right? He would put those people right next to me, most likely. Who would cross every line, like that guy. Anyway, it's their fault, so shut up. Anyway, yeah, that random voice, from that car, was right. You know, it is kind of like being The Life of Brian, that Monty Python movie. Because no one can accept the fact that I'm just what I am. So, I don't know, The Life of Brian is pretty much a really funny movie because it's this guy who's like really nice and stuff, and he gets branded as like the Messiah, right? He's trying to tell him he's not the Messiah the whole time, and no one will listen to him, right? So when they find out he's not the Messiah, they call him like a evil blasphemer and shit, and they just crucify him. And that's the end of the movie, is they have this musical number while they're all hanging from the crosses. It's funny. Anyway.
Okay.
Did you see those people? They tried to murder me, actually, with their minds. The ugly blonde one, or whatever, she lies about your heart and pretends it's buried underneath like a road or something, or in the desert. And they pretend that it's like decomposing, but soon enough they figure you don't understand where this went, so they don't understand it either. Their mind is completely fucked up just by default, right? If you imagine someone's heart, which is inside them, is actually buried in the desert somewhere, and they're not like already dead, you're intrinsically just retarded. In fact, you're trying to put forth a lie of what you believe and hope it affects reality, right? And that's blasphemy. That's the most basic thing that got this world in so much trouble, is people doing that shit. So it's like they're trying to lie to their own mind, for just always wicked reasons. No one really does it for any good reason whatsoever. And basically, most of them are completely merciless. People who do this shit are oftentimes openly blasphemy. They'll sick their spirits on you and have them lie about what they think too. So they've completely just illegitimize their entire mindset. Their opinions are not legitimate. They don't actually have those opinions. They're pretending they think that, but they don't, right? They're just trying to hurt people. It's like feminists, right? They don't actually think most of the stuff you hear them say on the internet. They're just trying to freak you out or make you insecure and something, because they're sick fucks, right? Because you can't actually believe that shit as part of what makes you mad about it. But people don't realize, like, oh my gosh, how can you think that? They're just in turmoil. The answer is they don't. They have no fucking idea what they actually think, most likely. Maybe they do, and it's just some deep, perverse, weird disgustingness within that just drives them to ignore what they know. Anyway. Yeah, I should have mentioned it while I was on camera. Like, you know you're lying and saying my heart is decomposing under the desert floor. Oh, what's up, dude? So anyway, time to go to bed. And those who blow their own heads off, don't be sorry for them. In fact, most people here should blow their heads off. If I did it, it was because they tried to brainwash me to believe something that was false, right? If that happened, actually, it's the reckoning, probably. If it's not the reckoning, it would be, right? But they tried to brainwash me right there. You can see I lost track of what I was going on about. It's because they're blasphemy, right? Anyway, that bitch needs to repent. She's gonna kill herself. The thing about this heart decomposing thing is that it's usually when people are doing that to me, it's a sign that it's going to like backfire on them, that they're going to die pretty soon, right? Like year or so. Most of the time they kill themselves. Sometimes it's because their heart explodes instead of mine, because that's what they're trying to make me think is going to happen. But I've been through it so fucking much, right? Some people do it just because other people are trying to do it, so they just automatically fall in line. It's always a sign of their evil ways, though. That's what I've found. And that's why I can't take people seriously anymore. It's just, like, I found out when I was like 15 about stuff like that. Because people made me do it. And there's people like 50 running around fucking twisting people's spines or some shit just because they're being followed by some kind of crackhead lesbian or something. And I mean, they're like, oh, I don't know. You tell them about it, and then they hate you forever. It's like, well, I only did it because you were trying to murder almost everyone you drive by in your fucking big-ass car that you don't even deserve. It's the only reason I told you about it, right? It was like, well, I don't care. I just didn't want to fucking, you know. Because once you tell them about it, they figure it out generally. The problem is nowadays there's so many gay little rape babies waiting to fucking jump on everyone who just found the shit out, shut their minds down, make them not see the right ways or why right is right, and just watch them devolve into little fucking psychosexual demon, fuckers or something, right? Anyway, I hate that bitch because of her lies. The good news is people are running out of lies, they can tell. They really are. Even that was a lie. And what would you expect? You wouldn't think someone would just not say that if they're in this situation, right? You already know what's going to happen most of the time in a situation like this, right? Anyway, my whole family is damned because of this shit. They just do it completely, just sadistically, retardedly. They brainwash you to be a slut with no brain. And, I mean, they're not going to stop there. They're genuinely, like, out to torture everyone that they possibly can. I don't even know why. They're not even people anymore. It's like lesbians, actually. Lesbians in general, gay people too, they will not stop. They're absolutely out to cause the most pain and suffering that they could possibly cause. And I know this because every gay person I've ever met was like that, and not a single gay person was not like that. And gay people always lie and pretend they've got nice lives that are like everyone else's. No, they're in the fucking ghetto, the homeless shelter, the crack house, losing all their teeth, wrecking their brains, and trying to torture everyone around them. It's all they do. That's all their lives amount to. Every time. Every gay person I know is just going to drive themselves insane, and they will try to drive you insane so that they can torture you through the depths of insanity. There's no reason why people would defend them except ignorance, or just seduction into the devil's fucking blasphemy shit, right? Those are the only ways you like a gay person. You either don't know what they're doing or what's going on, or they've just brainwashed you and you're just... it's over for you or something, you know? It's fucking pathetic that they had the school system teach our kids wrong and not make them see the truth so that they'd have an army of our little children protecting them. And young people defend the dumbest shit that they have no idea about. Everyone does that actually, but young people are the worst because young people don't understand that words have meanings or that things have consequences, right? People who are really ignorant defend their opinions like with just anger and jealousy and rage. And they never want to stop arguing. They can have the facts right in front of them, and you got to make them learn somehow, right? But it's like they don't want to because really their opinions are just stuff that makes them feel better about themselves. They don't really think that kind of stuff. Most of the time, they're so insecure about the other argument. Like anyone with facts, it just breaks their heart, and then they're mad about it, right? This is why you should learn and consider almost everyone to be basically expendable as a relationship to you, because without people always trying to fucking ruin your whole way of thinking, right? Everyone would know the truth and they'd know that the biggest thing is not to even care, right? So if you feel like getting an argument with someone, well, I do all the time, right? It's fun, right? I usually win. It sucks when they lie and pretend like they're winning, but they're not, right? No matter how many people lie about them, they don't win the argument because they're not actually thinking those things. If they knew the truth of the situation, they wouldn't actually pretend to think those things, right? But once again, there's psychos obsessing over my hair, so